So this is the supplemental instruction sort of session for Algebra 1 class on February 13th, 8-6. We didn't quite get to finish a problem that we had in class, and so I want to continue that and have this as a resource you can turn to for these type of problems. So we're looking at Try This, which is on page 389, part E of Try This, and it says translate to a system of equations and solve. So it says there were 166 paid admissions to a game, so the total number of admissions to a game equals 166. And then the price was $2 for adults, so let's just call it A, adults, equals $2. And then the price for children, the admission price, was $75, so let's just say C equals 0.75. Well, these decimals kind of are just annoying, so let's just convert them to where A equals 200, so we'll just go by the amount of cents that each of these cost, and child equals 75. That'll make it a lot easier there. So that's what we have so far. 166 paid admissions to a game. The price was $2 for adults and 75 cents for children. The amount taken in, so the total money that we have here, equals $293.25. Once again, let's just make that 29325. Get rid of all those pesky decimals. So the question is, how many adults and how many children attended? So we want to see what is A and what is C here. Okay, well, to make this easier, let's just make a chart. Chart will be the easiest way to go. So let's have a chart here. Let's make it about that big. Let's say adult, child, and total. Okay, cool. So now I have a chart. Let's look at the number, right? The amount of per person. Well, how many adults do we have? Well, we don't know how many adults we have right now. That's what our variable is for. How many children? We don't know. Children, total though, we do know the total amount. The total amount of people we have up here, right? So that's 166 amount of people. Nice. Now we're looking at what is the price? What is the money per person, right? Here's the amount per. So I actually wouldn't even call this money. I'd call it per. So per one adult, you have $200 for 200 cents. Per child, you have 75. Per total, it doesn't really make sense. We're not really going to look at the per total because we have two different rates, so it doesn't really make sense there. But we're going to look at now how much money do we total have. So with adults here, what we see is for these adults, we have every one adult that we have 200 cents, so to speak. So our equation that we'd have here is 200 times all the adults. That'd be how much money per adult. How much money per child? Do the same thing. We would have 75 cents per child multiplied by child. Well, what about our total money? Well, they actually gave us our total money over here, right? So our total money would be 29350. Oh, maybe I'm dyslexic. 52 or 25. So now we have these things that we can kind of run with. So right now we know that the total amount of people is 166. Well, how do we figure out the total number of people? Well, we know that if we have the number of adults plus the number of children, we're going to equal this total. And so it's going to be 166. So that's one equation that we have here. And that comes from here. We kind of just expand out to there. And then we have this one, right? We don't have a total here, so we just kind of do that. So this one, we have another one. We have 200 or $2, so to speak, 200 cents times adult plus all the children, right? So all the 75 cents per child equals a total amount of money. They gave us a total amount of money we have. So it has to be a combination of those two. So it will equal 29325. All right, so now what we have is we have two different equations, and both of the equations have A, have a C, and have a number, right? An A and a C and a number. That is great because we're learning about system of equations, so now we can just move forward from there. Well, what we see about these equations, I'll write them out here again just to make it a little easier, is that we have A plus C equals 166. Then we have 200A plus 75C equals 29325. One of the ways we've learned to deal with system of equations is to add them together, right? So that something cancels out. But right now, nothing would cancel out. And so if we want to have something cancel out, the easiest way to do it would be to cancel out either the A or the C. So to cancel out either this A or this C. Well, the way we want to do that is by multiplying, probably the top one would be easiest, multiplying it by a number that'll cancel out with the bottom one. And so the way we're going to do it, I just chose to do the smaller number, so I did minus 75. So that way whenever I do this expansion over here and do that and multiply by all the things in there, we end up seeing that this C here would be negative 75C, this would be positive 75C, and they're going to cancel out. So let's just do that over here. Let's just do, so we have negative 75A now, minus 75C equals, and then we have 75 times 166. Let's do that up here real quick. 166 times 75. 5 times 6 is 30. That carries over to there. 5 times 6 is 30 again. 33. So 3 here and 33. 5 times 1 is 5. That was 8. So 830. 830 here, and then we have another 0 here, of course. So 7 times 6 is going to be 42. So we have 4 here, 2 there. 6 times 7, again 42, plus 4 is 46, so 46. And then 7 times 1 is 7, plus 4, we end up getting 11. So then what we have is 0 plus 0, that's 0. So adding these together. 3 plus 2 is 5. 8 plus 6 is actually going to be 14, right? And then 1 plus 1 is 2, and then 1 plus 1. So we get 1, 2, 4, 5, 0 basically as our number here. And that's going to be the fancy multiplication that we have, 1, 2, 5, 4, 0. But remember, this is a negative 75, right? It's a negative 75 here. And so this is going to be a negative number there. So that's our top one, right? So now we've finally gotten our top number that we have, or our top equation here. And now we're going to look at the bottom equation. So that should stay the same, right? So it should still be 200A plus 75C equals 29325. Adding this together, well, when we add these two together here, we end up getting 125A. And then we add these two together here. These cancel out. Okay, so there's no addition. They just cancel out. And then we're adding these two together, right? So we want to have the subtraction on the bottom, and so if we do that, right, it'd be 29325 subtracted 1, 2, 4, 5, 0. 5 times minus 0 is 5. 2 minus 5, can't do that. Put it up here. This becomes 12 minus 5. That becomes 7. 2 minus 4, can't do that. This becomes an 8. We borrow from that. This becomes a 12. This 12. 12 minus 4 ends up being a 8, right? And then this 8 minus 2, well, we can do that, so that's cool. This is 6. And then 2 minus 1 is just 1. So we get 16,875, right? And so now we have, I'm just going to move this over here, right? Now we have 125A equals 106 or 16875. To solve for A, right? A would then be 16875 divided by 125. You all can do division, so I'm just going to let you all do that, and your answer should be A equals 135 adults. Nice. Okay, so we have our actual answer that we need here for one of them, right? We have part of our answer. Now we need to find out the children. How many children are there? We have the adults. We total have 166. We have a really easy equation up here to figure that out, right? So a plus c equals 166. So if we just plug that in, so we have a plus c equals 166. Well, now we know a, so we just say 135 plus c equals 166. Well, then when we subtract 135, we end up getting that c equals 31 children. And that is our other answer. And so hopefully that helped. Y'all are able to understand that better than when we did it in class. And let Miss Brown know if you have any other questions.